Renewable energy industry is driving new employment opportunities in South Dakota. Here's South Dakota Newswatch reporter Bart Fancook with more.
South Dakota has quietly emerged as a leader in the renewable energy industry, and the state technical college system has responded to quickly train the next generation of high-paid energy workers. South Dakota is among the top states in the nation for the amount of power used from renewable sources, with 77% of all electricity coming from renewables. Hydroelectricity from Missouri River dams has been a staple since the 50s, but wind energy is catching up. Over roughly the past 15 years, South Dakota has seen a tenfold increase in kilowatts of electricity produced by wind farms, which now hold more than 1,400 towers statewide. That growth has created a healthy number of construction and maintenance jobs. In response, the technical college system has worked closely with industry leaders to develop programs of study to meet the need for energy workers in South Dakota and across the U.S. At Mitchell Tech, a dual enrollment program allows high school students to graduate with a diploma and a wind energy degree to quickly enter the workforce. Technical college officials tout the incredible return on investment for students, especially those who take advantage of full tuition coverage through the Build Dakota scholarships. Graduates can easily make $60,000 to $80,000 a year right out of school, as competition for skilled workers is high among employers, including at Marmon Energy in Brandon, where they make wind towers. A lack of accessible transmission line capacity could slow future wind energy growth in South Dakota. However, two energy cooperatives that help run the power grid in the Midwest have announced plans to spend more than $7 billion in the next decade to further expand transmission capacity, including in South Dakota. For South Dakota Newswatch, I'm Bart Fancook.
For more about job creation in the wind energy sector in South Dakota, check out this story at ktiv.com.